Important properties of a line are its x-intercept and its y-intercept. The x-intercept is simply the point A0 where the graph crosses the x-axis, and the y-intercept is the point 0b where the graph crosses the y-axis. So here's the equation of a line. I've highlighted the y-intercept and the x-intercept. So this line has a y-intercept at 0, 3. This line also has an x-intercept at 4, 0. The x-intercept and the y-intercept are two very easy points to find if you have the equation of a line, and that actually gives us another method for graphing lines. We can identify the x and y-intercepts first and plot those on a coordinate system, and then we can connect those to form the equation of the line. Let's look at an example of doing that. Let's find the x-intercept and y-intercept of the line 2y minus x equals -4 and use that information to graph the line. Here's how this works. For the x-intercept, remember the graph crosses the x-axis there, so y equals 0 at the x-intercept. To find the x-intercept, I'm going to let y equal 0, plug that into the equation, and solve for x. So I get this. 2 times 0 minus x equals -4, which means negative x is -4. If I divide that by -1, I get x equals 4. So we found that when y equals 0, x equals 4. That's the x-intercept. I would write it as a point 4, 0. Let's do the same for the y-intercept, except the opposite is true. At the y-intercept, x equals 0 because we're on the y-axis. So we're going to let x equal 0 up here, and we're going to solve for y. So 2y minus 0 equals -4, 2y equals -4, y equals -2. So when x equals 0, y equals -2. Write that as another coordinate point, 0, -2. That's our y-intercept. So now all that's left is to graph these two. Let's graph them on an xy axis. 4, 0 is right here. 0, -2 is right here. And I can connect those 2 points. I have the graph of the line. Notice that here, I don't even know what the slope is. I never paid attention to the slope. I never put this line into slope-intercept form. So this is an alternate method of graphing lines based on 2 points, the x-intercept and the y-intercept, which are easy to find if you follow these instructions. One last thing about the x-intercept is that it's also called a 0. Specifically, the x-coordinate of the x-intercept is called a 0. So sometimes you might be asked, find the 0 of an equation or find the 0 of a function. You're going to do the same thing. Let y equals 0, solve for x. That x value right there is the 0 of the equation or the function.